Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. So, the dangers of high altitude. You've just loaded in to someplace on the world, and they've got mountains. So when you look around, you're like, wow, it's cool, mountains. I want to see some mountains. All right. So you've just loaded in, and you're excited, and you're checking your throttle. You got throttle open, trying to get trimmed out for straight and level flight. You've got enough power going, and you just seem to keep losing power. And no matter what you do, you just seem to keep losing power. And you crash a lot. And you don't know why. And now this is for rookies. I mean, people who've never flown before, so don't laugh. Like, well, this is obvious. Kinneas, what's going on? Well, no, it's not. It wasn't for me, and it caused a lot of problems, and I would crash a lot. And this is the area that I want to fly in. All right? So, what it is that you're up so high, your engine's not working properly. They call it the air-gas mixture. So if you've owned and operated a vehicle and you've drove into a high-altitude place before and your vehicle starts freaking out, somebody says, it's not breathing right. It's something like that. That the ratio of air to gas moving through the engine isn't right, and it's causing low power. So if I just continue to fly around, I might be able to maintain some flight around here, but chances are I'm going to eventually lose power and fall out of the sky. Okay, so this over here, let's see if I can get a better lineup on it. Close. This here, your mixture, that's the problem right there. That's the solution. It's actually not the problem at all. It's the solution. So at high altitudes, you need to change this. Can you hear the engine? Oh, hold on. Let me put it back to 100% and make sure you can. Oh, and then I've got the audio down so darn low, you might not be able to hear it. I'll be really quiet. Alright, I turned down all the in-game audio so it wasn't drowning me out, but hopefully you were able to hear that. You can hear it. The engine completely started getting power again around, less than 100%. Let me push it back in. Make sure that it's up all the way. You can test this out in your own rig. Push it back in. And you can hear it losing power. You can see we're losing vertical speed. We're dropping, losing altitude. Looking at our RPM is over here. Alright, we're losing RPM. Okay, so now let's wiggle it back. There's 95%. Already at 95%. Hey, we're already back up into the green power range. So I'm sliding it back 80%. 75%. 55%, and it's climbing. We're getting much better firing. So now it's starting to go down a little bit at 45%. So let me put it back to like 50 to 55%. You can fine tune it by squeezing the mouse button, holding the left button, and sliding back and forth, you can you can dial it in a little bit better. It's touchy though. And you can find that sweet spot where you're getting the best firing and the most RPM bang for your buck. I'm kind of getting it around 70 right there. All right. So, that is why you're falling out of the sky. Your engine's not breathing right. And you need to adjust that. All right. Once you've found a sweet spot, now basically this video is over and that lesson is over. But if you want to stick around for another minute, so that will also, I've done a video on this, but help you save fuel if you learn how to use this. Once you get yourself into straight and level flight, let's say, by the way, right here, this is right where we want to be. And we just want to drop down to about 2100 RPM. Okay, we're going to set ourselves into like cruise mode. So there's 2100 RPM. We try to trim the plane out using the trim wheel. And you want to get the nose holding straight and level flight. Okay, so we seem to be holding. We're dropping a little, but good enough, you know. Oh, no, that's dropping a little too fast. So let me add a little bit of nose up wheel trim. And just a little bit more. Okay. So she's not falling anymore. She's slowly climbing up by adding a little bit more trim. And that's what you want to do, is get it to a nice straight and level configuration as you're moving through the air. Now with shifting wind patterns it becomes more difficult, but you know, something to practice. Being able to nail it and get it in a perfect flight configuration. Still not doing it. Alright, where am I going with this? I said I'll just stick around for another minute. Once you get into a nice zen and your plane is moving as level as you can get it through the air, you can now start lowering your mixture again and then keep doing the same thing. Keep trying to fine-tune your trim in there to keep your nose up and keep that zen configuration without using any fuel, or using a lot less fuel. So I've got it down to as low as 15% before I really I don't really like going below 15. It's really hard to maintain the plane, but depending on the winds that you have going in your direction or away from you, or you know, you might be able to get it lower. So I encourage you to try. See how low can you get it. Somebody out there has got to be a wind airbender kind of master, and that's the way you got to think about it, is like, well, if the wind is pushing me, and let's say, you know, you've got a good strong headwind, you might be able to squeak it out. So if you can get below and have flown below 15, make a short little video and let me know. Show me how slow you can, or how little gasoline you can use and maintain straight and level flight. See, the engine's cutting out there. How far did I go? Oh, I cut it all the way. 5, 10, 15, and I've got power again. I suppose if I was actually paying attention to the winds, I might be able to turn into the wind and see if I could do that and lower it some more. But I didn't want to spend too much time on it. I wanted to talk to you about the problems you might be having when you're taking off and starting out flying in high altitude areas and dropping out of the sky and not knowing why. Now you know why, and now you know how to use it to try to save a little bit of fuel to extend your fun time in the air. Alright, that's it. Thank you very much. If you like it, and subscribe if you want to check out some of the other videos that I've done.